Hey guys, it's Clint again. What we're going to be doing today is learning how to solder a simple copper joint, sweating it. What I've got is I've got lead-free flux that you can get at any Walmart, Hardware, Home Depot, and I've also got some plumber solder. And matte gas, you're going to want to use that instead of propane. It's a lot faster and makes it a lot easier. If you look up here at the water heater, I've got a connector barely screwed down into the top of the water heater, and these fittings right here, one's a mill adapter, then I just got a piece of pipe going into that. Now before I put those two together, I used a piece of cloth sandpaper that if you buy some in some basic kits for a soldering kit, they'll have that already in there, an emery cloth. So what you're going to want to do is clean the inside of that connector out real good in your hand, and then you're going to want to clean the outside of the pipe. And after you do that, you're going to want to take some flux, and then you're going to want to take a little bit of flux and rub it on the inside of the connector and on the outside of the pipe. Not much at all, very sparingly with the flux, but do an even coverage on it. Once you get that, I'm going to show you basically how to solder. It doesn't take too long. You're going to want to evenly heat up each side of the pipe until you evenly heat it all the way around. Once it gets hot, it'll start to pull the solder inside of that joint. You don't have to put a gallon of it in there. If you zoom in right here and take a look at this, you can see it's not the prettiest in the world. You can take a wet rag while it's still hot. If you're quick enough, you can take a wet rag and wipe the excess off like that while it's still a little hot. But you're going to want to take and make sure that you inspect all the way around that joint. You want to look for any kind of cracks or anything like that where water might be able to leak through. But it looks pretty decent. It's not the prettiest having to do it while I'm videoing, but that's pretty much it. It just takes a little bit of practice. You can do it. Just remember, whenever you're heating up pipe, especially on valves like that, when I had to sweat that on, I made sure to unscrew it all the way up, get that gasket. This one doesn't have one, but some do. You want to get that gasket away from the bottom when you heat it up, because it will sometimes melt that gasket, ruin this valve after you put it in.